Is Sony's Spider-Man universe about to crumble? With Kraven the Hunter as its last announced project, things look a little bit uncertain. So let's figure out what's next. Welcome to Nerdluzo, I'm Paulo, and today we are breaking Sony's Spider-Man universe. What went wrong, what's still working, and whether there's a future for this franchise after Kraven the Hunter. So let's dive in.
I need more money.
So let's go back where it all started. Sony's Spider-Man universe, or the SSU, was originally born out of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 back in 2014. That movie was supposed to launch a series of spin-off films, but a disappointing box office performance forced Sony to rethink everything. That's when they made a deal with Marvel Studios to bring Spider-Man into the MCU. Tom Holland's Peter Parker was introduced in Captain America: Civil War, and it was a massive hit, as we all know. But Sony didn't stop there. While Marvel was using Spider-Man in its movies, Sony decided to create a separate universe focused on Spider-Man villains and some side characters. The SSU official kicked off in 2018 with the Venom movie, and it was a gamble, but it paid off well, earning over 1850 million at the box office. Sony followed with Venom Let There Be Carnage in 2021, which also did well, but it was not a strong movie as the first film, making 506 million in the box office. Then came Morbius in 2022, and let's just say it didn't exactly sink his teeth into the audience.
We've evolved!
Critics panicked and it barely made 167 million at the box office, and this year we got Madame Web, which brought a unique spin to the SSU but earned just 100 million. And most recently, The Venom Last Dance introduced a major new villain, known as Null, the God of Symbiotes, but its box office performance, which was 437 million, wasn't what Sony hoped for. Now here's the big problem. What happens after the Kraven the Hunter movie? The SSU's next movie, Kraven the Hunter, comes out on December 13 of this year, and it starts Aaron Taylor Johnson as the Kraven, and this will be the 60th SSU movie, but it is also the last one Sony has officially announced so far. That's right, after Kraven the Hunter, there are no new movies or TV shows that are scheduled by Sony. It looks like Sony is hitting a pause button, or worse, pulling the plug on the entire universe, and it's not hard to see why. While Venom has been the SSU's saving grace, most of the other films, like Morbius and Madame Web, have been critical and commercial failures. And while there are some rumor projects like El Muerto and Jackpot, we haven't seen any real progress on them. Even in TV side of things, with shows like Silk, The Spider Society, seem that are stuck in a limbo. So with that, let's dig into the biggest missed opportunity. One of the most exciting moments in the Venom Last Dance was the introduction of Null, the God of Symbiotes. In the Marvel Comics, Null is a huge deal, and it's like a Thanos level villain. However, in this movie, he's shown as this terrifying godlike figure, imprisoned on his throne and waiting for unleashed chaos. Null had the potential to unite the SSU and give it a clear direction, and he could have been the big bad for multiple movies, tying the universe all together. But with no new project announced, it feels like Sony introduced him for nothing. There's even speculation that Null could jump into the MCU instead, maybe in Spider-Man 4, but while that would be exciting, it leaves Sony's Spider-Man universe looking even more uncertain. Let's face it, part of the SSU's problems is that it is always compared to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it often confuses people about which universe is. We know the MCU is a juggernaut, and since 2008 it has released nearly 50 interconnected projects, from movies to Disney Plus shows. The SSU, by comparison, feels a little bit disconnected. Sure, the movies technically share a universe, but they don't feel tied together in a meaningful way. Like, what is the overarching story, the connective issue here? It doesn't simply exist. And furthermore, there's the problem of the lack of Spider-Man. A Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man, it just doesn't work as well. Meanwhile, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is thriving in the MCU, making the SSU feel even more incomplete. But with that being said, it's not all bad news. If there's one area where Sony is absolutely crushing it, it's the animation. The Spider-Verse movies, Into the Spider-Verse and The Cross of Spider-Verse, have been groundbreaking. These films have been critical and commercial hits, and they have set a new standard for animation superhero movies. The third film, Beyond the Spider-Verse, will wrap up this trilogy, but Sony isn't stopping there. They are developing a live-action Spider-Man noir series with Nicolas Cage, who is reprising his role from the first Spider-Man movie.
My name is Peter Parker. In my universe, it's 1933, and I'm a private eye.
Now, Spider-Man Noir is set in its own alternate universe, so it won't tie into the SSU, but it shows that Sony knows how to handle Spider-Man stories, at least when it comes to animation and spin-offs. Sure, it's hard to believe, but they can do it. So where does go Sony from here? They've got a few options in my view. They could double down on their villains and make better and more connected movies, and they for sure should look at DC's The Penguin series, which is a villain and a spin-off, and it was just brilliant. And the best movie from the SSU so far, it wasn't even that good. It was a fair movie, let's say that. In comparison, this spin-off of the Batman, it's a freaking masterpiece. They also could focus on their animated Spider-Verse and develop more spin-offs like Spider-Man Noir. Or the best option, they could work more closely with Marvel Studios, letting the character join the MCU. The worst case scenario is that they abandon the SSU altogether, but for now everything is up in the air. So what do you think? Should Sony try to save the Spider-Man universe, or is it time to fold it into the MCU? And they have a perfect option to do that coming in the next few years with the Secret Wars. It's a no-brainer there. So let me know your opinion in the comments below, and please don't forget to subscribe to the Nerdless channel if you want more breakdowns, news and theories about Marvel, DC and much more stuff. Thank you for watching, I'm Paulo, follow me on social media and I'll catch you in the next one.